Hey guys, welcome back to my channel Storytime and More with Ananya. So basically, I was getting many requests from many people. I was getting many requests to make an educational video in my own voice. So as you know, I make educational videos in the form of animation. So today, I am gonna be making it with my own voice. So let us begin. This is last time, like whichever video I make, it's of AI voicing, but then this is my own voice. I've shown it before as well, so let me begin. So today we are gonna discuss about the tribal communities in India. Now, the tribal communities in India were mostly dependent on agriculture and lived in areas they cultivated. So that time as well, they were obviously mostly dependent on agriculture itself, and they lived in the areas they cultivated. Then these tribes, what they did was these tribes inhabit about one fourth of the world's total land. One fourth of the world's total land. So the tribal customs and traditions they were passed down orally as they had no written records at all. So most of the tribal communities at that time they are concentrated in central India but are spread throughout the whole country. As we know, there are like above 5 million, and the estimate of the world is like above 8 million, 8 billion something. So yeah, according to 2023, now 2025 is gonna come, so obviously it must have changed. Like now we are gonna discuss about the nomadic tribes. So some tribes were settled while the others were nomadic and they traveled from place to place. So the principal occupation of nomads it was in agriculture. So for everybody it is in farming, agriculture, etc., etc. So the principal occupation of nomads was trading. This is a very important point. So it was trading. I highlight this point. Now, who were the Banjaras? If we talk about the Banjaras, they were one of the most famous nomadic tribes. So the word Banjara it comes from the word Vanaj. Vanaj or it means trade. Vanaj is trade and Jara is travel. So trade and travel. Banjara. Banjara primarily lived on milk and pastoral products. Okay. So they traded wool and ghee, etc., for grains, clothes, and utensils. These Banjaras they traveled in caravans. Caravans called tandas. So these are the terms which are very important. The Vanaj, Jara, tandas, and many such terms are gonna come later on as well when I'm gonna explain to you people. So tandas, the caravans were known as tandas, ferrying goods to sell in towns and cities. Coming towards tribal and nomadic communities of India. So the Bhils, firstly we have the Bhils. The Bhils were a large tribe. They were spread across the western and the central India. So some became the settled agriculturists or zamindars, while the others they remained the hunters and gatherers. Now the Khokhar and Gakhars. The Khokhar tribe, first of all, it was the Khokhar tribe. It was very influential in Punjab during the 13th and the 14th century CE. But then after that, later on, the Gakhars they became more important in that particular region. After like that same century, but then they became more important. Okay, there isn't many information given even if you search in the internet that which particular century was the Gakhars more influential in. Though Khokhars it was mentioned. Let's come towards the next tribe, the Chero tribe. So the Chero chiefdoms emerged in many areas of the present-day Bihar and Jharkhand as well by the 12th century CE. One thing to remember, guys, we are not going on like from oldest to the present day kind of tribes or from present day to lowest. This is we are just telling about some influential and important tribes. That is why you could see Khokhars they were during 13th and 14th century. Then we suddenly came on 12th century. Then the Bhils were some, a bit lower centuries. That is why it's kind of jumbled. So Chero chiefdoms they emerged in the present day Bihar and Jharkhand by the 12th century CE. The centuries are very important to be remembered. Centuries are really very important in all these names because in history this is the main thing which they are gonna ask you people in any kind of a text, any kind of a exam. Coming on to the next point of the Chero chiefdoms only. So, the famous Mughal general Raja Man Singh, you must know Raja Man Singh, he attacked and defeated the Cheros in 1591 CE. Again, this is a very, very important point that who was the one who attacked and defeated Cheros? It was General Raja Man Singh who attacked and then defeated the Cheros. Why? Because there is many things, right? These tribes, they take a particular area from the land, a particular land they are taking. It's mostly in the forest and all, where nobody can reach over there that much. Either it will be in the middle of the forest, in the end part of the forest, where nobody can see them, but they are going to take a particular amount of land over here. What had happened was Raja Man Singh or anybody who is there, they would definitely have issue, right? That these people, they are taking our land for free. Okay, they were not the farmers who used to give them, they were not the ones who used to interact to people and give them something in return. I'm talking about Cherokee drums. So what they did was, Raja Mansingh, he thought that they are taking our land for free and they are doing all those things. Now, what are we supposed to do? So he attacked and defeated the Cheros to get their land back. Because although it was his kingdom, that means that particular amount of land also, it was his, it belonged to him. So in 1591 CE, he defeated the Cheros. Coming on to the northeast tribes. So the Nagas and the Ahoms dominated the northeastern part of the subcontinent. Then coming on to the Kolis and Birats, the Kolis and Birats were found in the Karnataka and Maharashtra highlands. And I'm telling very less amount of information because according to the base of the tribes, if I'm gonna tell everything at once, it's gonna be tough to remember. So I'm gonna tell bit. Even in my previous videos, I told a lot about these tribes and everything. So this is like more information about the tribes. Now the Gonds. The Gonds, they were found in great numbers across Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, and Andhra Pradesh. Very important to remember, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, and Andhra Pradesh. So, for all this information which have been given in this particular chapter, it's very important to take a map with you, India map of India, and then mark it. For example, Cherutai we can take from yellow color or any color, then mark it over there. So this is the thing which can help you remember everything. And do not forget to write the names, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, like that, or you even write MP or Maharashtra, something like that. AP, it'll work because many of the people, they don't remember particular places in the states. If you're totally fluent in the states, no need to work. Coming on to the Mundas and Santhals. Well, one more point, by the way. So if I'm telling Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, anything, that doesn't mean that in the whole state they are there. I'll just give you an example of Gonds. Madhya Pradesh, it isn't there in the whole Madhya Pradesh. It is somehow below, below part of the Madhya Pradesh. You can see it if you search on internet about Madhya Pradesh, where it is. I mean, like where that Gaunt tribe is. Then you'll get to know that it is in spread about like the whole of Madhya Pradesh. That was just one example. Moving on to the Mundas and Santhals. So the Mundas and Santhals were the two important tribes in Odisha and West Bengal. Gonds, they were in Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, and Andhra Pradesh. Whereas the Mundas and Santhals were the two important tribes in Odisha and West Bengal. So now, next we are gonna move on to Banjaras. Banjara is a very important term which is even gonna come in the higher grades and all. So Banjaras, it's very important to understand. So the Banjaras, they were one of the most famous nomadic tribes. They were one of the most famous nomadic tribes. The word Banjara comes from the word Vanaj and the word Jara, travel. Even we had learnt about it before about the Banjaras. Even there was one line of like one paragraph we had learned about the one charas which I just told you people. But then this is gonna be a bit more, which I'm gonna like there is one more line, which is one more point which I'm gonna tell you people. So let's move to that. Now, these Banjaras, they primarily lived on milk and pastoral products. Here, if we see in cities, we have a lot much to eat. You know, some people who are there, like children and all, they see in their animes, cartoons, etc., that there are these Adivasis, they say, Adivasi people, and then they are, doing that kind of a dance, and then they are saying something like language. They have made a particular catching line for this language of these people, you may know. So that particular line, if you know, write in the comments below, and I'm gonna pin the first one. So these Banjaras, like people used to think that they are not in real. They used to think that they are just these were, if even if they were there 2,000 years ago, something years ago, they must be there. But no, even in the present day world, mostly in India as well, these tribes, they are still there. They are still there. The thing is, we do not see them by our eyes because I told you, right, they do not like to interact to the cities and even to the normal villages and all. They do not like to interact to this world. That is why they live in such places where we cannot see them. But still, if you see in news and all, there are many such tribes found as well. And then still, the government is trying to give them space. And so, if you can see on news and all and search on internet, you may see that there are many such tribes still in the present day India and what. Well, coming on to the pastoral nomads. Pastoral nomads exchanged products like wool and ghee with settled agriculturists. They used to exchange products, not use them. Exchange products like wool and ghee with the settled agriculturists for grain, cloth, utensils, and other goods. As we know in the olden times, we do not used to have money. Money wasn't there at that time. That time we used to do this exchange thing. Okay, so you give me this, I'll give you this in return. What I have, I'll give you. What you have, you give me. So the tribes, I told you now, still they are present in the present day world. So the tribes, they are carrying this particular thing till now. They do not interact to the present day world, right? To the cities and all, to such people like us, they do not interact. That is why they are still living in this world. They still do this. Because if they aren't interacting, from where will the market come? From where will the shop come? From where will all these things come? From where will money, paper money come? There isn't a bank in between of the forest with the tribes so that they are going and then bringing in some money. They are creating an account of themselves. No, right? This is impossible also actually. Like they don't know how to do all that. That is why they are still going on with this particular thing. Still, they are like pastoral nomads talking about them. Still, they are giving wool and ghee with the other agriculturists, settled agriculturists. Okay, settled. They are settled for grain, cloth, utensils, and other goods. Coming on to trade and movement, nomadic people bought and sold goods as they moved from one place to another, transporting them on animals. So, if we see, I'll give you an example. Like goat was very common that time. Goat, goat. They used to bring many goats, and then they used to, why they used to bring goats, just for milk and all those things? No, even whatever thing they are getting, they won't have a paper cloth or any kind of a bag and then they'll bring in the bag or attache or anything, no, right? So these animals they'll use to transport them. So this they used to transport the goods on the animals and they used to walk. That is why for these people it was very important to have, like, it was very important that they are going to wherever they are going, what they are doing, they are continuously working day and night. No, they are changing their houses. For 1 or 2 days they'll stay, then they'll change, like that. So for that particular time, it's very important for them to live in an area where water is there, grass is there, so that they can feed these animals, so that they can transport these goods. They also need some energy, isn't it? Like us humans, they also need some energy. That is why this was one of the very important things. Many such things about tribes and all are also mentioned in the book, From Our Father to His Daughter. So that particular book, if you haven't read, there are ebooks for free available. You can go on internet, search about it, and there are 1,000 things which you're gonna get to know. And it's like very, very interesting book. Well, guys, there is more to be learned. It's a very interesting topic. Coming on to military support. So they transported the grains for the Mughal army during military campaigns and sold them in towns. Okay, so they transported the grains for the now what they did. Some of the tribes, not all. Okay, some of the tribes, they were such way as well that they used to transport these grains to Mughal army during the military campaigns and sold them in towns. Okay, the animal rearing and sales. So about that, talking about that, the animal rearing and sales, pastoral tribes reared and sold animals like cattle and horses. Then there were different castes of petty peddlers made of sold wares such as ropes, mats, and sacks. Again, very important point. So, mendicants and merchants. So there were also mendicants who acted as wandering merchants, earning their livelihoods. Coming on to the nomads. Nomads are tribes that have no particular home, no permanent home. Okay, it's not that they're traveling, and then they are not at all staying. They'll stay for temporarily basis. We are not sure, 1 week, 2 week, 1 day, 2 days, something like that. No, we are not sure. They are going to live temporarily, that much we can say. Okay, so these tribes, they keep on traveling from one place to another. So this movement is often in search of food, pasture for their livestock, or to earn their living. As I told, they used to exchange products as well. Well, about pastoralists. Pastoralists are people who depend on livestock. For example, the cow, the goat, camel for living. They usually move around with their livestock in search of new grazing grounds and water. Emergence of jatis. Well, with the growth of economy and society, new skills were needed, leading to the emergence of jatis, smaller castes within varnas. So, jatis are smaller castes within varnas. So, various tribes and social groups were incorporated into caste based societies as jatis. So there were specialized artisans. So specialized artisans, like the blacksmiths, the goldsmiths, the carpenters, and the masons were recognized as separate jati by the Brahmins. Well, about the jati, I've made another video like a month ago, I guess. So you can see that link in the description. Well, not gonna discuss the whole thing till 12th, obviously, no. So that's all about today. Hope you liked my video, and whichever educational topic do you want next, write the name in the comments, and I'm gonna definitely try to take that particular video.